Are you looking for a way to beat the summer heat? Well, maybe the Arctic Air Outdoor can help you out. Welcome back to another Jeff Reviews for you. And as you saw in this video, we are looking at the Arctic Air Outdoor. It's an Arctic Air product you can use outside. How cool. You know what? Enough talk. Let's get right into the review. Here we have our Arctic Air Outdoor. This is of course an outdoor evaporative cooler, and I do like the fact that this is chargeable, so it has an internal battery. That sounds pretty cool. This did retail for right around $82. Let's unbox this to see what we get. Unboxed, we of course see our Arctic Air Outdoor. There's an instruction guide and there's a proprietary charger. That kind of frustrates me. I figured with the Arctic Air company, they've been learning that, you know what, let's use some USB-C, but here they went with a proprietary charger, so make sure you don't lose that. If we do a quick measurement, we can see it's 16 inches tall and about 10 inches wide. This is said to be portable, so of course I wanted to weigh it, and you can see it's about 4 pounds, 10 ounces. Of course, this does not have any water in it. The Arctic Air Outdoor has two different ways to supply water. You have a hose connection right here, but then also there's a reservoir that you can put your own ice cold water in. If you look over here on this side, this is where our plug goes to charge it. I'm actually going to hook that up right now as we're looking at it, just so we can start the charging process. Before I plug this in, I should note that there are covers for both of these. This one, of course, over the water is plastic, and the one over the plug is rubber. I do appreciate that they gave us a 6-foot cord. That to me was pretty convenient. Even though it is a proprietary cord, at least it's 6 feet long. Right when we plugged in our Arctic Air Outdoor, you can see the top light started blinking green. I should note that right here on the top, there's actually a really convenient and seems to be high quality carrying handle. I like that because it is supposed to be portable. What I want to do now is we're going to talk about the different buttons here on the top. In order for any of these buttons to work, you first have to turn it on. This is the on button, and when you first turn it on, it has high plus the boost on. You can see all the lights lit up when we turn it on. You can actually hear that boost click in. So this right here is going to provide you your 2 levels of mist. I don't have any water in right now, of course, so we can't show you that. This, of course, will change the colors of the front, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But if you want to edit the or change the speed, you just click that and it drops it down one at a time until it eventually shuts it off. I'm going to show you the different colors now. Of course, for that, we're going to have to turn it on low speed just so that fan is not blowing on the microphone. So right now, of course, you see that it's in this light blue color. There are a total of 7 different colors, but 8 settings. So if you're just clicking this button on, going all the way through, you can see all the wonderful different colors. And then of course, it comes to almost looks like the first one again, but really this is just gonna alternate between colors. In my opinion, I do think the colors that go all the way around this, it is pretty cool. So, tell me, what are your thoughts of the Arctic Air Outdoor? And more importantly, what's your favorite color around the outside? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. When I first turned this on, I thought, man, does this have really fast wind speed? Probably one of the fastest fans I felt. So, you know what? Let's check what the wind speed is. Now this is full turbo. All right, let's see what we get there. Almost 12 miles an hour or so. Oh, actually, if I moved it a little bit, went a little over 12 miles an hour. Let's turn it down 1 notch. So this is on high without the boost. Just about 10 miles per hour. Let's turn it down yet another notch. Medium speed, almost 9 miles per hour. And of course, now let's turn it down to the lowest setting. About a little over 7.5 miles per hour. This is a really powerful fan. I added some water because I wanted to test out the mister. So I turned it on. Of course, this is high. Now I'm going to click the mister button. When I've used these before, sometimes it can take up to 2 minutes or more for these to start. You can actually see the one here on the left has started, and they're both started. That's pretty cool. Of course, you have 2 different levels with the misters. Right now, I think it's on low, and then this is on high, and you can see the increase there. And I'll be honest with you, this is a really nice, cool breeze coming off of the Arctic Air Outdoor. Of course, if I want to turn the misters off, I hit the button one more time. What we're going to do now is we're just going to let this charge. We're going to leave it off. I'm told that this green light will continue blinking green until it's fully charged, and it'll be solid green. Of course, we want to see how long this will work on battery powered. As you can see, our light is now solid green. Let's start the test. Our first test is going to be worst case scenario. We are going to put this on high. We are going to put our misters on full, and we are going to leave the light on. I will say I added water to the back here, and just be careful, right? Because one, it's hard to pour water in there, and two, there seems to be some overflow holes that I didn't know existed, so I might have put too much water because then it just leaked all over through holes out the bottom. So just be careful if you're using the reservoir. You can't put too much water in. I know that this is a control test in a room, but right now I'm over 8 feet away and I still feel this wind, and it is pretty cool coming from the fan. So I appreciate the level of power they've included in this fan. We have now hit the 30-minute mark and the Arctic air outdoor is still blowing strong. The mist is coming, the light's on. So you know what? So far, so good. Well, this is funny. Clearly I spoke too soon because not 10 seconds after I shot the previous video, it went completely dead. So with the full blast on turbo, the mist and the light on, you get about 30 minutes of runtime. Let's charge this back up and try it on low. This is weird. I thought it would take several hours to fully charge, but after only 30 minutes, we have a solid green light. So I have tried it in a couple different plugs and I've gotten the same result. So what I'm gonna do now is let's test it on low without any mist and without any lighting to see how long the battery lasts. I have been testing the wind speed with it running on battery, and I get a very similar speed to that running plugged in, so I'm really appreciative that you get the same speed regardless if it's plugged in or running on battery. So this ran a total of 2 hours 15 minutes on low, which is not quite the 6 hours it says on the box, but now I got to thinking, does the 6 hours of cooling mean that reservoir could last up to 6 hours if you have it plugged in? That might be the case. But battery, all I got was about 2 hours, 15 minutes. I figured I couldn't do a video without testing the hose feature, so let's look inside first before we hook up our hose. First, I thought it was interesting to note that the hose piece is kinked in 3 different spots, and I wonder if they do that on purpose as to not let air into the system, but I just wanted to point that out first. So what we do is we open this up here, and we're gonna bring out the hose connection as best we can and unkink those lines. See how that unkinked it? Actually in the back it looks like it's still kinked, so maybe the water flow will help us out. You can see it's a very small inlet hose, and of course there is some sort of rubber or silicone gasket in there, and I do like that. My big thing is I would turn, if you hook your hose up, I would not turn it on very high just because the small opening there. Let's hook up our hose. With our hose hooked up, we got a little kinked, and so I'm interested to know what happens when I turn this water, and I'm just turning it on a little bit to see. Well, it looks as though I have to tighten it down a little more than I did. See that just leaking out? Let's see if I can tighten that down anymore. What I'm doing is I'm trying just to twist the hose and not the plastic piece, so I don't want to kink that anymore. I just dumped the bucket out, or the reservoir out, because I wanted to see what would happen if it would fill it back up. I do notice that the misters have turned off. This is still on, and it looks maybe like the water's starting to fill back up again. I do say I wish there was some sort of a bottom drain here that I could have dumped that out easier since I had to tip it over. I was probably most excited about the hose attachment because I thought that would be a great idea to keep the mist going when you're outside with it plugged in. But look, this does not turn by itself. Like it's attached to the hose completely. I would have liked it if they had a head here that would be able to spin, because as you're twisting this onto the hose, your entire tube is twisting. We're gonna try this again, and I did wrap my hose in Teflon just to give me some extra protection, but what I ended up doing is I'm gonna try to twist just the hose and not the connector. All right, I was able to figure it out. So I ended up twisting the hose on, and then I had to take the Arctic Air Outdoor and spin it around upside down a few times just to unkink this hose. Let's turn it on now. Remember, we do have the gasket in here and some Teflon. Here goes nothing. That's cool. You can see how the hose having the water on is actually filling up the reservoir to make sure you have a continuous supply of water. All right, so I like that because it actually has a sort of shut off on the inside because it was spraying really, really fast, and now it's slowing down. So I'm glad that it's just not going to overflow. That also worried me. I tell you what, it's a humid, hot day out here, and the Arctic Air Outdoor is providing me a nice breeze with the fan, plus that mist is pretty cool. A little trick that I do is I add some ice cubes right into the reservoir, so I know that that water coming out is ice cold. Although this actually adds to the humidity, right now as I'm using it, when the mist and the fan hits me, it feels cool. The sad thing is when you get a breeze like I have right now, it's blowing the mist away from me, and of course I don't even feel the fan anymore, so the cooling has been reduced to 0. Oh wait, here it comes back. Ah, that's nice. In this video, we were looking at the Arctic Air Outdoor. So what did I think of it? First things first, let's talk about that price point. And depending on retailer, it retails from anywhere between $80 all the way up to $100. In my opinion, it's a little high on the price point, but I do like all the features that are involved in the Arctic Air Outdoor. So that leads to a lot more uses than their typical Arctic Air products. One of my favorite things about this product is the company does not claim it's going to cool down your room or it's like an air conditioner. Really, it's just a fan with some misters that has the battery, and you know what? That's exactly what it is, and I really do appreciate that. There's nothing more frustrating than when a company makes a claim about a product and it just doesn't live up to the claims, where at this product, it's a fan with a mister and it does exactly what it's supposed to. All except for that 6-hour runtime. I never could get it to run that long. The longest I could get it to run on batteries was 2 hours and 15 minutes. But for me, for the most part, I just use it plugged in and it lasts as long as I want to have it on. I do think it's convenient and portable, and definitely something people would like if you're going to the beach, you're out at the park, and you're not going to be there for a long period of time. You know what? It's simple and convenient. Not to mention the 30-minute recharge time. I've never had a product that recharges that fast. I thought that was pretty convenient as well. I like the hose attachment feature. I just wish it was thought out a little further to give you a hose attachment that won't break in the short term, because in my opinion, unscrewing this and screwing this back in over a short period of time, that part's just gonna break off. You could just use like a quick release or something, but that's an extra item that you're gonna have to buy. I hope this is not too loud in the microphone, but I did want to say that the mist goes out at least 6 feet. And although I couldn't really show that on camera, it is pretty convenient. Also, the directions tell you that when you're done with this, run it on high for 4 hours with the mist function on, so you get all the water cleaned out of the reservoir. Anyway, that was my full review of the Arctic Air Outdoor. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. I thought it'd be fun to try the Arctic Air Outdoor as well. Outdoors. Because I want you to see what the color lights look like as we change it. Let's see. It actually is pretty cool. Just cycling through all the different colors. Of course, you remember this one just does at random, but it is pretty neat outside at night. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of the Arctic Air Outdoor. You know what? Not that long ago, I reviewed another product by Arctic Air that could be used outdoor, and it's the Arctic Air Grip Go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link that review video right up here, and I would love it if you would click on this link. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm gonna join you right here. So go ahead, click it. It's safe, I promise.